If you're like me and you care about what God has to say about certain topics and words and things, then we turn to the Bible. So we'll go to the Bible in this teaching to really look at what the Word of God has to say about the word love. In 1 John chapter 4, verse 7 and 8, and it says, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love." So it's really that last part that gets me, the part where it says God is love. So if you step back and break that down a little bit, all the attributes that describe God are also the attributes that describe love. So let's just go through a few of them right now so we can kind of get a taste of what I'm saying here. We'll start out with one of them. God is called omnipotent, and basically that's a big word for meaning that God is all-powerful. And so if God is all-powerful, then love is all-powerful. So just thinking about the practicalities of that love, loving ourselves, loving our neighbor, and loving God have such a dramatic impact in this world. They have such a powerful force behind them. We would also describe God as being incomprehensible, just unable to comprehend. And that's the same for love. We can't really, especially in this age, get a full understanding of who God is. And in that same way, we can't get a full understanding of what love is. Thanks to the Bible, thanks to teachers, thanks to prophets, all of that, we have an understanding, a glimpse. But I'm telling you, it is so much beyond what we could ever believe, what we could ever imagine. God and love are such greater concepts than our mental capacity can even hold. Another attribute of God is eternal. God is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. And that's love as well. Love is the Alpha and it is the Omega, the beginning and end. There has never been a point in history where love did not exist. And finally, let's touch base on one last one here. There are many more, and actually I want to recommend a book right now. The Knowledge of the Holy by A.W. Tozer is a fantastic book that really details all the attributes of God and really helps us to get just a little bit more of a glimpse of who God is and just the dynamic power of this God that we serve. All right, so the last one that I want to talk about is that God is omniscient. And omniscient is another fancy word which means all-knowing. He knows all things at all times. Right now, as you're watching this, he knows the very thoughts that are taking place in your mind. And love is the same way. There's no hiding from God and there's no hiding from love. True love knows all things. It's vulnerable, it's open, it's not something that you can hide from. And so all these attributes, and like I said, there's more on top of that, are just amazing things to think about when we're starting to think about this topic, love. Really, in all reality, we can't truly define love. At least my mental capacity can't completely understand the concept of love. But it's good to start to kind of look at different angles and see that love is a very dynamic word. It is not just those mushy-gushy emotional feelings. There's much more to love than that. Let's take a look at one more famous verse. This one's often used at weddings, which is found in the Bible that really describes and helps define love in greater detail. And you can find this in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. And it says, "Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." So I hope you're starting to see now, love is so dynamic. It is so powerful. There's all these different ways that we can describe it and think about it. It's a word that we truly do want to study because, like I said, I believe it's the meaning of life. I believe it's why God did this whole thing. I believe it's why God exists, why he created us. It's for love. That's the point of life, is love. Now I want to take 30 seconds to a minute here to break down these verses in 1 Corinthians. And to do that, I have created a little visual that you'll see pop up on the screen right now. So in this visual, this is just a little breakdown, help you kind of get little bite-sized pieces of this definition that's explained in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. It goes through what love is. Once again, love is patient. Love is kind. Now let's jump over to the opposite part of this, what love is not. Love is not proud. Love is not self-seeking. Selfishness and love cannot exist. And love is not easily angered. And now here's more actionable parts of love, actionable dynamics of it. What does love do? Love does rejoice with truth. It does protect. It does trust. It does hope. It does persevere. These are things that actionable love does. And then let's tap in over here to this next side, this last quadrant here. Love does not envy. It does not boast. Love, you can't be showboating and be love. It does not dishonor others. It loves others. It honors them at all times. It keeps no record of wrongs. That's a big one. That's a huge one for me, I'll tell you, being able to just not keep that record of wrong against anyone who's ever done anything against me. Love does not keep those records. It does not delight in evil. And then finally here, love does not fail. And oh, how important is that love does not fail, because at the end of the day, it's really all that we have.